You better clap. All right. Click, clap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Yep. No. 1, 2, 3. All right. 2 claps. All right. He threw me on.
You guys throwing 3?
He threw 3. I thought we were throwing 3. Then okay. All right. 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Steel Valley Stand-Up Podcast with guest star Anthony Marsicola and his beautiful girlfriend Grace Pearsing. We're here with Dan Kulifay, the guy that's talking right now, and Andrew Lucas, the mad scientist of comedy.
Here we are, mad scientists, back at it again, cooking up lots of potions in the comedy circuit. Shit.
Congratulations to all of you that are listening. Our first guest, Anthony. He is a gem in the crown of Youngstown comedy. He started off, as most do, as an open micer, and now he's running shows himself now. He's also been in some movies.
Hold up. Oh, that's not. There I go.
Now, what did you do to prepare for that role?
Mayor of Kingstown. Alright, so basically I was paying some scamish ass agent money to get me gigs that I could have got for myself. And I ended up getting the role on Mayor of Kingstown, and it was something I definitely could have, they had it all over the news, I just didn't know how to find shit. She gets me this gig, and so I'm excited as fuck. I ran out to Pittsburgh that day, and early AM. We show up, there's this nice tour, not tour bus, there's this little bus, and they got the nice seats in it, the leather and shit. It's 5:30 AM, it's winter, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I fucking made it. And I'm an extra. But I fucking made it.
Yeah, dude.
And the whole time, I'm hanging around people that were acting like they were prisoners in the prison yard, in this old ran down prison. But I didn't really do much to prepare for the role because I was like, fuck it, I get to just show up, and I'm just yeah, I'm a bad guy. And I remember specifically I was hanging out with a bunch of black people, and I'm like, oh, these dudes are fucking sweet. We're just talking about life. Now I got my dog with a diaper walking in.
It's all good.
But I'm hanging out with all these black dudes on the yard, and I'm like, damn, I'm really yeah, man, fuck these people. And they had to cut the scene, and they came up to me and they're like, hey, you can't be hanging out with these people. I'm like, what you mean by that? And he's like, don't make me say it. And all of them stood up for me. They were like, what you mean by that? Why can't you talk to us on the yard? He's like, come on, you're a white guy. Go hang out with the white guys. So I did stick around in a group full of people with faces with painted on swastikas. And I'm just like, God damn it.
It's I like Jewish food.
Yeah, right? So, I was like, I love Hispanic food, man. But I'm walking around the yard, and I ended up getting picked up by 300 people just to, maybe get a featured scene. And you had to act like a thug in front of, the director. And it's this fucking, whole-ass Canadian dude comes out with, the fur, big coat. He looks like every stereotypical director ever. And he comes out, and we're just like, yeah, man, yeah. And he's like, yuh, and just walks back into a trailer. So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, fucking made it.
Fucking made it.
Let's see, where are they going with it? Either way, they ended up taking us back. We got to get lunch beforehand. Dude, you get so many fucking meals when you're on
Good
set.
meals?
Yeah. They had catering, and they fed us 4 times. And I was like, well, I was here for 6 hours. I'm like, dude, I just kept fucking eating. I was like, fuck it, right? But we get to the scene, and everyone wants to be a dick and try to make you laugh because, we're extras. We're not, most of these guys aren't taking it serious. They're just here to get some money. And I'm standing there, they come over, they put a spoonful of citric acid in your mouth. You know what that is? It's fucking gross. But it's like a powder, and you put it in your mouth, and it's super tart. and immediately you just like start foaming, right? So like they're getting ready to start the scene, and it's like 3 minutes till they start, but they put the citric acid in your mouth, they're like, hold it, and I'm like, and it's just like bubbling out. It's fucking terrible. We did this shit like 7 times.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Don't breathe.
And everyone around me is like, he's like, alright, I'm gonna cut it back. When we were getting our makeup done, you know, everyone's getting like black eyes and tattoos, swastikas. I wasn't one of the swastika guys.
Hey, there you go.
Rats.
Thank God. No, not rats. But I'm in there, and she gives me a little bit of makeup on my neck. And I'm like, she's like, you're done. And she shows me a mirror, and it's just a hickey. And I was like, fuck, dude. I'm the hickey guy? Like,
In prison?
in fucking prison? And I'm hanging out with all these black guys, and they're like, why can't he hang out with us? Like, I'm like,
I am good friends with these people. They like me quite a bit.
Why can't Hickey hang out with us?
Look, their love runs deep. Okay?
I've heard deeper than most.
So I got a hickey on my neck, and then they're like, yeah, be our drug addict and overdose. And I was like, so great. Now I'm hanging out with swastika people with a hickey on my neck, and I have to overdose. I'm like, I don't think I can come back to Youngstown anymore. Like, I can't tell you guys I was in a film.
All to be an extra, dude.
I want to be an extra, and I didn't get paid any extra.
No?
No.
How much do you get paid by the hour or just by the day?
By the hour. And if you go over your hours, you get paid a paid month. Which I went over a little bit and they didn't count it. And I was like, bullshit. Like,
Now, do you get any money, like, I don't know about what royalties are, but like anytime that episode gets shown, do you get like another little check that comes in? Like,
no, you get one
check. One and done.
I think I made like $260. Something like that. I was there for a while though. I mean, like, I want to say it was like 6 hours, but that's like shooting time.
Okay.
But
I think you were in that.
I got it on my phone, dude. I got the scene. You can see me just laying on the ground a little bit.
I remember you saying that you were in movies, but I didn't realize it was that. Like, that's something that I've seen on, not watched, but like just seen it on there and been like, I should watch this. You know, every time I'm like, is that Mayor of Youngstown? And it's Kingstown.
Yeah.
Like, every time I scroll past it.
I've been telling Anthony that I want to start doing that stuff too.
Getting out.
Yeah, because
Acting.
like I saw the little posting for the extras for Mayor of Kingstown season 4, and I sent it to him, and I'm like, I told him, I'm like, listen, there's no way me and you are going to get the same parts. I mean, like, got like a fat, chubby guy with glasses, you got a skinny dude. Like, I think we're going to be going for different parts.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, all right. So with being an extra, there's really not like extra parts you fill out.
Yeah.
You're just there. So like you signed up to either be a prisoner or officer. And most of the officers, I think they wanted like military training, just like so you hold yourself a different type of way. Mm-hmm. But most of us were all just prisoners. And you just give your jumpsuit requirements and your like sizes. And even if you give them the wrong size too, they got fucking stockpile of shit. Get in there. Dude, it was like you're going to prison, too. Like, we showed up off of the bus into an actual prison. We funnel in to get our information, and we're holding a bag, like, of our belongings. And we just go off to one room, we get in our jumpsuits, we go off to the next room, and we're walking this whole prison yard, and then they put you in a spot where they actually kept all old, like, prisoners. And you're just hanging out there for a couple hours until they get everybody ready. They get their drones up in the air, everything. And then you're out there for 15 minutes, back in. And that's it. Just the same scene over and over. But you guys will definitely be booked together, most likely. You just find each other.
Yeah.
I mean...
What did you learn, though, like that?
Yeah, what did you take away from it?
From doing it?
Because you say you could have done it on your own without going through the agency. Like,
first,
how do you go? How do you really go after that in a place like here? You know,
is that plugged in?
Didn't notice that one.
Last time. So with stuff like that, it's really just they post it on the news, right? up in Pittsburgh because that's one of those ones where they need a lot of fucking people. So it's not one of those things where like you get super lucky. Like I was from Youngstown, they wanted PA vocals. I still got it.
Yeah.
You know? But when it gets in more tense and you're getting like lines and shit, that's where it's rare. I got lucky to get picked for the featured part because I was just walking past a couple people that worked for the movie and just coincidentally they're like, you. And I was like, what do I do?
Yes, sir. What would you want? You want coffee? Can you be a can you drug overdose for me?
They're like, can you put this in your mouth? I'm like, fuck.
Wait. I'm a smart boy. Are you a director or producer on this endeavor?
Like, how would you like to drop the soap?
Yeah, right. So,
Well, like, what do you want to? Do you want to keep doing acting? So, like, weren't you just in a play, right?
Yeah, on accident. I was
on an accident.
Yeah, so someone told me that there is this acting gig, and it was like this like ghost thing. So I'm like, ooh, like scare acting. I'm good at that. So I do scare acting like during Canfield Scare Grounds. You don't get paid shit for scare acting, dude. It's tough to get paid anything good. Like you got to be someone that gets booked at like even if you work at Six Flags, fucking ass pay rate.
We just do it for the love of the game, right?
Exactly. So that's where it's like a lot of people will just fuck around and be in a house and just like sit in the scene. But when I do midway, so you run the whole part with a chainsaw, you're sliding, you're doing whatever you got to do. So I hear this and I'm like, oh fuck yeah! Like I start doing this role and it's crazy they picked me because I did my monologue thinking it was a scary audition, so I did it like spooky. I sounded more like fucking Bruce Wayne. Like I'm like and I'm just like talking deep and doing this fucking monologue that I don't understand. Get the part. And then I found out it was a play, and I had to do it in front of live people in the middle of the street of downtown Youngstown. And I ended up playing the founder of Youngstown, John Young, man.
In the middle of the street?
Not like right off the... Alright, so you got Federal Street.
The square?
Yeah, you got Federal Street. I'm fucking just standing right in front of the YBI.
Okay.
And I'm dressed like George Washington. Because my character's from 1700s. So I'm just like, I came down here with my wife Mary, and we bought a good land acre. She got sick. I had to take her back on to Youngstown. So like this dude, all he was. It sucks to say it too, because you want Youngstown to be like some like grid.
Yeah.
He's some rich ass white dude. Came down, bought some land,
Put my name on it, left.
And then left.
That's generally how it worked everywhere.
Is that what DeBarlo did?
Yeah, dude. But acting's
like I'm gonna keep owning this mall though. I'm gonna keep holding on this mall. It's not. We're gonna hold on to it.
Acting's a lot of fun.
You did the audition, if I may add, but you were doing like the auditions and stuff for me. And let me say, he did great in his final part. But he'd always run him past me. I was like a drama kid. I was president of our drama club and stuff. And when he originally started reading lines, he would like hole through a wall, like get so pissed.
Dude, I'm like that with everything.
Like, this is John Young. Fuck! I'm John Youngstown. And there was this one line when he was like the original audition. Do you remember this? It was like Great Gatsby, Great Gatsby lines. And he had to read this super like frou-frou part. In his very first reading of it, he was so like I'm gonna say bug, but like you were reading it so hard. It was like, yeah, fireflies in the autumn night. And I was like, why would you say that like that? And then he watched it back. And then he got it and he did great. But I just thought that was so funny.
Everybody has their own process.
Yeah, which is no disrespect because he did great at the part. But.
I would not have gotten any of my parts without like constructive criticism. Like that's the only thing that landed me on is having people where I'm like, yeah, see how good this is, and they're like,
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this.
No.
Yeah, you were going for the part of 1800s John Young, and you started from just a thug. Drug and Graves like, well, hey, Kat, let's think about this a little bit.
This isn't Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah, it may be this way now, but think about with like horse-drawn carriages and rich old white guy. And you're like, yeah.
And then he got it.
Why is there always a Mary? You know, there's always a Mary.
Yeah, her name was Mary too. That was John Young's wife.
Yeah.
Mary had to be getting busy. I don't know.
Yeah, same Mary, just
Mary's
different.
You can't
different.
be
Even
raised
since
up.
biblical times.
My first high school girlfriend / love interest was named Mary. It makes Christmas horrible.
What's that movie? Is that what you just said?
What?
What's that movie? Isn't there a movie like something about Mary or Mary?
There's something about Mary. Something about Polly.
That's Along Came.
Speaking of Polly, you're my cousin's short film too. That was funny.
Yeah. So, all right.
You
Okay.
yeah, short
Don't
film.
tell too much because I don't think it's out yet. But
Can I say what it's called though, right?
yeah, probably.
It's called Dad Gay.
Bad gay.
Yep.
Are you allowed to say where it's dropping at?
I don't know where it's at.
Okay.
Oh, if you look at like, we could probably say, I think it's Polly W. Sauline is his.
Without knowing anything at all, I see your
Yeah.
part being like very flamboyant, and you started it off being like, "Yo, bitch, what's up?" And then Grace was like, "Okay, Anthony, this is a film about homosexuals. They have a little bit of couth, a little bit of flow."
Yo, bitch, what's up?
Bill, how's that ass doing? How's that ass doing?
But he's done a lot of short films. My cousin is really cool from the area, but now he lives in California.
So I was really just like, I can't be. Cool.
What's your cousin doing in California, Grace?
Film. He does film. He's done film for other people for different industries. For a little bit out, he was doing shit with Herbalife, and he was like, "Man, fuck these people," and he got out of there.
Yeah.
But it was a good job. But what he does for himself is always the best. If you do go on his website, you can see a short film I was in, Taper, and I was his homophobic little sister.
Nice.
Giving him shit. It was his origin story, and then he did like a really cool short film. It's called like Boogaloo Bungaloo Boy, something like that. He's gonna kick my ass. I forget the exact name, but it's about like super conservative, like white dude in the forest, and like that culture, Midwestern culture of like radicalized conservative men. And you guys know Bobby Moynihan from SNL?
Yeah.
He did if you look up Melinda's Wish, he filmed on that with Bobby Moynihan.
That's
Which
cool.
is pretty dope. But
Damn.
yeah, he's been in film for ages. It was super cool. And then this was a passion project that he got
Yeah.
a part in. But that's a little context for you.
I've been in probably like 3 or 4 things. Honestly, like Mayor of Kingstown. I had a one-liner up in Cleveland in a short film. And it's like a non-profit thing for like this thing called Art of Me. We had to be a store clerk, and I was just a dick.
Yeah.
So,
Only non-gay part that you
yeah, the
played.
only non-gay part. Yeah, I played a fucking racist, drug-addicted gay dude in a prison, and then I just was like eye candy for a gay dude that's ready to come out the closet. That's my portfolio. You either pick he's either racist or he's gay. Pick one. Like I'm trying to
We're equating gay.
Wait.
No, it's not like that. It's just like
What happens when we mix it and make it a gay racist?
The prison scene.
yeah, that's what it does in prison.
No, it's still a prison scene.
But yeah, it's,
Well, you weren't that racist. I mean, you
No,
didn't have a
no,
swastika.
but like-
You just had a hickey. You know, that's
I
only
had a
racist in
hickey,
some
but I'm standing
countries.
next to a dude with a swastika on his forehead, like what's his name?
What was that movie? Dude?
Oh, Charles Manson.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and he looked dead like him too.
Yeah.
Why would we do that? No, we're making us do that.
Well, we start talking about
Swastikas.
Nazis
Like,
Yeah, leave it to us to talk about swastikas and my black lab.
yeah. Whoa, hey. We've come a long way. We already climbed that mountain.
Don't say your, alright? He's not yours. We don't-
Our. Yeah, we don't own him. He was adopted.
Yeah. So the one dog's name's Voodoo. What's the other one's name?
Wudo and
Wudo.
Jasmine. Jasmine never got fixed when she was a puppy. So, or just never got fixed growing up. So now that she's a senior dog, we can't get her fixed because like it could be a
Complication.
dangerous game. So now she has to wear diapers and run around the house. And then you forget that she's wearing diapers and you let her outside. And he comes back and you're like, goddamn. Ball of shit.
Damn.
Sad. It's sad.
That sucks.
I like, dude, it was a rude awakening when I was a kid, and I was like, dogs get periods? And like, next thing you know, pillows are covered in blood, you got a diaper dog running around the house, save shit. This one's learning how to, shake it off. Like, she'll go under the table and scrape the back of the diaper off so it falls off. And you're like, fucking...
Keep that shit on. You're nasty. Fucking nasty.
So kind of backtracking a bit, where exactly would one go to find these parts? I know you said that there was like a website for Pittsburgh, but I've also heard there's a lot of stuff going on in Cleveland.
Like it's the same way how you found the Mayor of Kingstown thing on Facebook for season 4. I didn't even see
That just popped up on my Facebook.
Well, they're trying to scam you, though. That's
I've seen that where it's like...
Right?
What?
Is that what you're saying?
No.
It's like, those are the scam ones? Or
No,
That's not what you
Well,
called
it depends.
Like, was it one of those ads?
I think he was talking about his agent.
Oh, my agent was a fucking scammer,
I
dude.
figured the agent is the one who puts those kinds of ads out.
I was so desperate to become an actor that that's the thing, like agents get a cut of what you make. I paid this bitch $550 for the year, and then she was a yearly payment, and she took money away.
But did she book you?
I got Mayor of Kingstown.
Negative
That was it.
$200.
For the whole year?
For the whole year. Biggest fail, because I was so eager to jump into it. I was putting my resume out there and trying to get agencies, so I messaged a bunch of them. Just so happened one of them was hers, and it got back to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the norms, didn't know much about it. Next thing I know, fucking whiffed it.
What are those norms that you learned, though? Like, expand on those if you can.
It's easier, like, I tried Backstage for a while, right? But we're in Ohio. It's tough to get good gigs on Backstage because there are short films. You'll see a lot more on there, but it's still the same as just...
What is Backstage?
Backstage is a website that people use to get booked. You put all this information in, and builds your profile.
Oh.
And then it shows, if you put like a radius where at, and you just send your resume out to all these jobs that pop up. So a lot of directors, a lot of for PA work, anything, they'll post jobs
Oh, nice.
throughout. Great for places like New York, LA, California. Is LA in California? I don't know. Either way, all the big areas, great. In places like Ohio,
Well, I heard that they were shooting a lot of stuff up in Cleveland and
it
Akron.
usually is. Pittsburgh, I've noticed Pittsburgh is where, I don't know, Pittsburgh and Cleveland I've got
They seem
booked.
to shoot a lot in Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah,
honestly.
those two are big.
Like I saw
That's
pictures
where-
online of them doing the new Superman movie in Cleveland.
I thought it was Pittsburgh that happened. But you're probably
Maybe a little bit of both, but I know it was in Cleveland because they actually have like faux shop signage going up for where he was standing, because you can't just have like Melt or whatever the hell's up in Cleveland. It's got to be like the Daily Planet bullshit, you know?
Yeah, but I think I had like 2 gigs maybe out in Cleveland, and then I
feel like we gotta make them on our own now, dude. I feel like they aren't bringing back comedies in the right way anymore. And it's like you have to... You know how they're doing these YouTube specials? It's almost like you have to do these... Like, if you want to be... I know you want to do it in other spaces, too, other than just comedy. But, like, when I think about comedy in the state of, like, where movies are and where they're going, it seems like we have to, like, release it all on our own, and then that might not blow up. Then release another one all on our own, and then maybe it blows up and you get somewhere, but then it's like, I feel like nobody is still going to take comedy, I guess, movies seriously. I guess what I'm saying, what do you think about, like, the direction of those things? Like, do you see yourself being able to do comedy movies, or do you see that they're not really going to be an option? It's going to be like you're going to be stuck in suspense, thrillers, and country bumpkin movies, you know?
Fucking hope I don't get no country bumpkin.
That's what
What's
these
the matter
girls
with country
are,
bumpkin
bro.
movies?
I mean, like, if my record was like,
You could be in a movie with Drewski, bro. You never know.
that would be sweet,
Right.
But like, if my record is like, hey, you know, be gay for this film or hang out with these white supremacists, I'm like, I don't want to be in a country movie because I'm either getting hunted or doing the hunting. So I'm like, I don't.
Right, do the hunting.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd rather not be on any side of that fence. I'd just be the guy that's like in his newspaper, like, like,
Right.
like fuck. But I could see it changing up a lot. I haven't had much of a break. Like, I've barely got into stuff, and when I
Right.
have, it's very light stuff.
Right.
Signed up for a small role up in Cleveland, and like they had all different roles. Didn't know that. Went out there, did a one-liner. They're like, perfect, and got that one. Everyone else is out there like, oh, I hope they get the part. I'm like, dude, it was one line. They're like, it's like 5 pages. I'm like, what? Like, those were on the table? I'm like, shit, dude, I put out the easiest one. But yeah, I don't know where my acting's going. It's tough. It really is. It's what's crazy is a lot of the places I've got through acting was through local comedians too. Yeah. Cleveland seems a great spot to be at.
Yeah. I feel like in the last year, bro, you've gotten so much better as a stand-up. Like, it's unbelievable. And I don't know what I credit that to, but just like, I don't know if it's because you're doing all the acting now and you're like expanding that creative.
Well, you're just honing your edge.
You're really, and you really have this it's been really cool to watch this last year where you've just grown out of old things and just kind of have, like, the way you control a room, it's so different than it was like in July of last year, like it's completely different.
Yeah, well, July of last year, I was my first year.
Where did you start?
First month. I started at Westside Bowl.
You started at Westside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you were doing it before that, weren't you?
No.
I thought you were hanging out before that.
No, I met John Huff at...
I think I met you way before that. Maybe it was just at school or something.
Yeah, school. You were a year or two ahead of Jordan?
No, I was with Jordan.
Oh, you were with Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh, so, yeah, it was a year.
I probably just met you there, but I feel like I saw you at other shows. I thought you'd been doing it longer.
No, I started at Westside Bowl in June of last year.
Wow, that's crazy.
How did you find out about Westside Bowl?
What was it? I don't know. I know I'm a year and a half in. I found out by Westside Bowl. It's almost like you speak it into existence. It's almost like manifestation.
Yeah, it is.
I was dating this girl at the time, and she was like, oh, I really want to try comedy. And I was like, that'd be cool. I'd be down to try it. And same week, my sister was on her phone, and she's like, oh, look, there's a comedy open mic at Westside Bowl. I was like, all right, well, now I have to do it. Because I mentioned it. I said, oh, yeah, I'd do that, so I got to do it. I texted my girl about it, and she was like, oh, yeah, I'd be interested. Leading up to it, she bailed. And she was like, oh, well, do you still plan on going? I'm like, fuck yeah, I still plan on going. I made this commitment to myself. I got to keep my word.
Right.
Went out there. I froze for like the first 15 seconds. I was like, I was like, so my mom, and they're like, tell us about your mom. I'm like, my mom's a great person. And then I looked at Chloe, the one that was running it, that was hosting it, and she's like, it's okay, go ahead. And it was awkward because, like, I was so scared, but I looked to her for safety. So, like, every other couple seconds, I'm like, okay, she's still there. She's still there. I was like, it's almost like having someone that had your back, where I was like, all right, I trust this person that if something goes wrong, she's like, nah, have my back.
Yeah.
And I felt free. Next thing I know, I'm not looking at her, and it was probably like 5 minutes in. We did a 10-minute set when we first started down there. It was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And, I ran with it, and I was getting good laughs, too, and I was like, holy shit! I got on stage, I'm like, I just ran. I like ran outside, and I was like catching my breath. I was like, what did I just start?
Yeah.
And here I am.
Oh, yeah, man.
Where'd you guys start?
I started at Club 31 over on Powers Way, right over here in Struthers.
You started there?
Yeah. And
open mic?
Yeah. Well, I was the one, my buddy actually started an open mic, and he was like, hey, Dan, I know you have songs, and you want to try comedy. I'm starting an open mic over here, and I was doing that. It was every Thursday. And
I worked there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You worked for
Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a cook, and that's how I got it. That's how I got Huff, that spot there, because I was cool with him back then.
Yeah.
Then you find out about shit, and I know.
I'm cool with Ken in that, too. So I started going there, and then my same buddy that did it, he was like, yo, man, he sent me the thing for the Westside Bowl, and I went out there. It might have been, and I'd been doing open mics at various places, but I
think I met you maybe the third time they had it, or something like that.
It might have been, because I'm still an amateur green boy asshole. Like, I'm not weathered in any capacity as far as like comedy goes. But all the open mic nights that I had gone to, there was no light. There was no time or anything.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went to the West Side Bowl, and it was like, you have to have, I think it was 8 minutes.
Yeah, they lowered it from 10 to 8, and then it was 5 to 6.
And then I'm up there, and I always fret over the amount of time that I have because I want to have that time. And I always end up running over. But the first time I went there, I'm talking, everything's going really good. I get a light. And I'm like, and I just keep on going, get a light, keep on going.
Yeah.
And I get another light. I'm like, does that light mean something? And they're like, yeah, that's you're supposed to get off the stage. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, I didn't know how to end this anyway.
Yeah.
Peace out. And Ebony, I holla. She was that night, and she was like, my God, why the fuck are we giving Don the light? He was funny as hell, Don. And I'm like, and I didn't even know she was talking to me. I was drinking.
I remember that night, bro.
And she's like, I'm talking about you, like asshole or whatever. And I was like, oh fuck, I don't know. My name's Dan. She's like, who gives a shit?
That's Ebony, dude. She introed me on stage once, and I was going by Bubba James back then. And she introduced me. She's like, "Y'all give it up for Bubba Smith." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, where did the Smith come in?" I'm like, "Damn, do I look like a Smith?" She's like, "That ain't no James." I know James. That ain't no Bubba James.
She was like, "You may not look like a Smith, but I might look like Granny."
No, but then I went to that Snaps poetry, and you were there. Me and you were the only white guys there.
Yeah, we were the only white guys there. And I was like, oh, sweet, Dan's here. He's going to say some jokes. I went up there, talked about my balls. It felt like it went so bad. And from an outsider perspective, they're like, what the fuck? And it was funny because they're like...
very elegant there. Like, elegant.
It was so... Oh, my God, I've never seen nothing like it. It was like a wedding.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm not the only one doing comedy. Dan's going to get up there. He's going to say his jokes. And Dan just starts singing, and I was like, I was the only one that said something like that. I remember I went outside, and I was about to leave, and some dude came out, and he's like, this motherfucker was talking about his balls while we out here. He's like, this chick's over here talking. I got on stage after a chick wrote a poem about her dead dad. She wrote a poem about her dead dad at this nice, elegant place, and then they introed me. I was like, and I went up there, I froze for a little bit, said a couple things, and I was like, I would say other things, but I know you guys don't want to hear about my balls. And they're like, tell us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like a laugh, it was like, tell us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And Devin was on the stage, and he was like, let me hear it. And it's like, I know I'm getting older because I went to take a shit the other day and dumped my balls in the toilet water. And Devin's dying laughing. Devin's on the stage like, he's like, me too. But he's 48, I'm 21. So I'm like, that's an age gap in our balls.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mine shouldn't be dunking.
I sit on my balls.
Did it? Like, how are you mad right now?
But, yeah, I did a set about my balls after a girl said a poem about her dead dad. And then Dan sung beautifully, and that's why anytime I have Dan, I like sing us out, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's always a good call.
I like singing, but like, again, I've done open mics and stuff like that, but it was always for singing. I just got into doing the comedy. I'm in the same vein as you were. I'm like, I've only been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
It was almost 2 years ago now. Like, that's how fast time has slipped.
It's scary.
Yeah, and was doing the comedy stuff, and then I think that I saw the Snaps poetry stuff. I'm like, I like writing poetry and singing. I'm going to go do that.
I saw it, and I did not have that thought. I was like, open mic, I got this.
And I went in there, and well, when I got there, Devin and Eli are standing at the door. I'm like, and I'm new to the game. I'm like, you guys like the bouncers? Am I supposed to like pay you money? Like, but one of them was wearing like a Naruto shirt and stuff, and they're like, nah, man. And like, yeah, they're like two big, tall black guys.
Yeah, they're like 7 feet.
Yeah, and he was running like the sound and stuff for them. And going into this place, they had like tablecloths and nice chairs and finger sandwiches and gift
Oh my
bags.
God. Yeah, they had
like
pinwheels.
And everybody there looked like they're dressed to the Sunday best. Like I was wearing like I think my cargo pants and a t-shirt.
Like, you remember the first guy got up and he sang hymns about Jesus on a little guitar, and he's just like strumming, no like intensive, just strumming, singing songs, and he's like, if you know the words, sing along. And I'm like, he was dressed for a funeral, and like these people are in vests. Yeah, it was my funeral. That was the day I buried my balls.
Yeah.
I was like, it was something, dude. That was crazy.
That was fun.
But
Yeah.
dressed for a funeral, are you saying he's black? Like he was all black? What are you trying to say, Anthony?
What?
If people wear all black to a funeral, what are you trying to say,
What I'm
Anthony?
saying is that he was in a suit
Singing about Jesus.
singing about Jesus.
That's not how
open mic.
That's not how my ancestors took it. All right, next show.
Okay, so like that's awesome. So, I mean, yeah.
That's cool.
So like, if
My
you
bad,
were
guys.
back,
I'm gonna talk 40 hours straight. I'm working right now.
if you were to go back to your very first time going to an open mic, what is something that you would like tell yourself going up? Like,
Don't give a shit about what they think about you.
yeah,
Don't give a shit. Because I would get up there and try to please everybody, and I was scared to be myself, and I still am. It's tough being yourself in a room full of strangers, you know?
Mhm.
Like, when you first walk into a room, maybe it's the tism, but like you walk in and you're like, all right, how's everybody holding themselves? I'm going to hold myself in this manner.
Yeah.
And there we go. We're fitting right in. There's no way to just fit right in comedy because everyone in that crowd is different. And so are you. So when you get up there, you say what you want to say. And if the crowd doesn't agree with it, fuck them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Enjoy yourself. And it's all about making yourself smile at the end of the day. If you're not happy doing something, you shouldn't be doing it.
100%.
Yeah, you can't give the crowd power. Like, you have to hold the power of, like, fuck 'em.
It's
Like,
us.
you can't give them back that power. Like, they're not gonna, oh, you're not funny, because then they end your set. They decide everything.
Fucking
rather than you control
hecklers.
everything.
Dude. All right, Dan, you ever had a heckler yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How bad was it? Did you get him?
I got him. Yeah,
Okay,
fucking.
cool.
Dan's
You
first
weren't there.
heckler story.
Yeah, my first heckler was actually in Las Vegas.
Oh, damn.
When I did
Oh,
my
damn,
stand-up
that's recent.
Yeah.
I forgot you went to Vegas. That's
Yeah.
right. Jesus Christ. Everything's
did
going on.
a stand-up show there, or I did an open mic there,
Mm-hmm.
and what I thought was like a retro dive bar, it was just a shithole. Like I went in there, I was like, wow, this place looks like shit. I mean, they really went through it, and I'm like, that's just a shithole. But there was like 70 people there. It was all comedy. The first 4 people went up. I think I was like number 7, and there's this just 60-year-old like meth head, and he's got like a spiked mohawk and a leather jacket, and he's just wobbling around, and he's going up to the front, and he's intruding into other
On everybody.
yeah,
Oh,
and I'm
it
like
wasn't just you.
yeah, and I'm like okay, so he's gonna come for me. I need to know what the fuck to do,
Okay.
and fucking everything was going well, and like again with the crowd thing, like I'll tell jokes sometimes where it'll just go, and it's crickets, and then sometimes you'll be like, fuck you guys, that's funny, and then you can bring it back, and then sometimes that don't work. But anyway, he's like, that wasn't funny. And I was like, dude, you know what, I used to wonder why they invented condoms, and then I met your ass. And
That's good.
and fucking and everybody at the bar was like, yeah, fuck that guy, blah blah blah. And he's like, and I was like, well, you got the fucking hairstyle of a goddamn chicken. Now you're fucking sounding like one, you goddamn fucking rooster.
Right, bro.
Yeah,
It's the mob mentality. You have to win the mob mentality because they'll roll with you if you lead them. You know, it's crazy, but they will.
Yeah, I got heckled by a dude I'm pretty sure was homeless.
yeah,
I mean,
Win.
and he won.
He won.
yeah.
Yeah, he might have earned that one. Maybe he needed it.
That's how it goes.
So like, I'm in Cleveland. All right, mind you, I'm hanging out with Marco Torres and Jordan Sanchez. And we're up in Cleveland. We go to this spot. It's called the Crowbar. All right? Never been up there before. We got there way too early, like an hour early. And this show started 2 hours past the show time. So we were there for 3 hours. We're just exploring the town. There's a fucking Asia town in Cleveland we had no idea about. and Marco is dressed as Godzilla. Not knowing that we were going to Asian Town. Like, dude, it was fucking perfect. So we're dying laughing, just enjoying the night. He's standing on, like, little, like, plaques and shit. Horrible. It was amazing. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
but we get to this place, nobody's there. Jordan goes up, Marco goes up. A couple other guys go up. Or no, I think Marco went up after me. Either way, I go up, and people started coming in. And when you're on there, it was a dark room and the lights hit, so I couldn't see shit. Like, I could see a person here and a person there, and everything else was gone, right? I'm doing my set, dude just said something, like, loud. And it was like one of those ones that's trying to grab you, you know, like it was a straight insult. And I'm like, yo, what? And I'm looking, and I'm like, where the fuck is this dude? And then, like, I hear it again from this side, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going fucking crazy. And no one else is acknowledging it, just me. And then it's like, I start saying some other shit, happens again. And then the host joins in, he's like, so you have a heckler, and you have 3 ways you could deal with this. You could ignore it, you could approach it, or you could keep going on with your set and just let him keep chiming in. And
What was he saying?
I don't remember. He just kept saying shit, like, and it was like, I'm like, dude, fuck this guy. I was like, you lucky I can't see your ass right now. And then he said something back. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was choking up. I already felt off-putted on the stage because it was just a weird night, you know? Get off stage, and then I see him, and it's this black dude in the back with dreads, and he's just like, with a sandwich. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I'm like, all right, Marco going up. He got my back. Marco did not have my back. He just went up, said some shit, forgot about what happened. Dude didn't say shit to nobody else, just me. And I'm like, where was this for the guy before me? Like, I had no prep. I had no idea it was happening. And I wasn't saying some shit that's, like, specific, like, you know, where it's like, oh, that cut deep. It's jokes here, jokes there, random topics I'm touching on. I don't know what the fuck got him going, but he did not like me. As I'm leaving, I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, that fucking asshole fucked my setup, man. And I was like, I don't know what to say. Get in the car, we go to leave. This dude hops on a bike and rides away. I was like, the show's not even over. He showed up just to heckle me and then rode away on a fucking bicycle. I got a car. I was like, fuck this guy, dude. He's probably waiting at a bus stop. Fuck that guy. I was like, we're going to get his ass.
Yeah, dude.
We did.
Homies rode away popping wheelies, bro.
Yeah, like, got that bitch.
I had
I got one
something.
of the French bikes with like
Yeah.
60 wheels.
Yeah, outside of comedy, like there's some things you just got to focus on. Like I had that almost exact scenario happen to me the other day.
Yeah.
I'm driving, fucking big ass truck gets up behind me, puts on its headlights. I'm just driving, doing dance stuff, and the fucker passes me, and then as he passes me, he throws like a bunch of trash out and hits my car.
Okay.
And immediately it took Dan from his little happy place of Danville to like, well, now I got to follow this guy and hunt them like the animals they are.
Dan transform into like leather jacket, pumped up hair.
Yeah, like and fucking. So I'm following this dude, and I'm like I'm like getting his license plate and that, and he knows I'm behind him, and he starts going down these country roads, and I'm following him in my little Honda CRV, you know. I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I'm like, I have his license plate number. What am I going to be able to do with that? Like, call the police and be like, there was a guy that threw trash out onto my car, and they're going to be like, okay, all right, yeah, we'll look into it. But, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow him just to let them know that that was a bad thing to do. They don't know who's in this car. Mm-hmm. For all they know, it's like, you know, MS-13 or, you know, something like that. And so I'm following him. And eventually they pull into a trailer house, like, out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, Dan, they're living in a trailer. Like, what could you possibly do? So I took down their address, and over the course of the next 40 years, I'm going to destroy their mailbox every so often.
Dude, you know there's a site where you can send discreet packages to people's doorsteps, like if you have their address,
Yeah.
and they will not, like they went to court because they do like really good glitter bombs. Open up a package, poof, you know? They send books on how not to be a cunt, shit like that.
Yeah.
Sister's done it to people. She's a delivery driver. She comes out there like, you're not supposed to be parking in my yard, blah, blah, blah. And like, she'll just remember their address, send them one. This company has gotten into like so much backlash where they would go to court and would not give up any information of what customer sent what. Because like a glitter bomb ended up injuring someone or something like with
Yeah, because that's like shrapnel.
Didn't say shit. They will. That's their motto. They fucking stick to it. So by all means, send them fucking glitter bombs. Send them every different type of one.
But it's the same thing with you. Like the guy got on his fucking bicycle to go live in his cardboard box. I'm like, yeah, they're living in a trailer in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I don't know how. I'm just gonna go about my day. Like,
it takes a special type of asshole to show up to a show and just try to fuck with someone.
Right.
Like, you're here to enjoy it, or just enjoying yourself. For a matter anything you're doing. You're going to the movies. If you're going somewhere for entertainment, why would you try to make it harder for them to watch someone else struggle? You enjoy watching people struggle. So you're a fucking asshole.
I think a lot of people don't understand with you think that people would. You think that people would. But with comedy, we're not going up there and just being like, well, I'm pulling this out of my ass, or like that's in the fucking atmosphere. I'm just sometimes it is, but the majority of the time, this is stuff that we've written with punchlines and timing and stuff like that, and how it's supposed to be said. And these people want to interject because they think, we're
They think they could do better.
Yeah, it's like shut the fuck up,
dude. It's like having a kid and he comes back with a drawing, and you're like, garbage. You're spitting on someone's artwork that they put time into, whether the craft of how long they've, been working on shit.
Or like you could have the entire room laughing and everything, and there's like one cunt or one dumbass that's like, I didn't like that joke. Like it wasn't for you, dude. It wasn't for like. And you said it before. Like I have the exact same mentality. I do humor and I do comedy because it makes me happy. Mm-hmm. It's an added and it's a very nice bonus that other people laugh at my jokes. That's great, but I'm not going up there to tell jokes for them. I'm going up there to tell jokes for Dan, and that's how it goes. But like some people, they don't get that.
No, my hard part with it is I'm quick to just anger. So like it turns from funny to shut the fuck up. Like I get into my monologue where I'm like, bitch. I start talking to myself all crazy.
I wish I could heckle more, bro. It's good for you.
Yeah.
It's so good for you because they throw you off your game, but it's kind of like
if you get up,
you need it. You need it to happen enough time so you're ready for it when it does happen, or else it'll throw off everything like you're talking about. So like, I feel like hecklers. There's some that are obviously just drunk assholes in the back, but there's a lot of them who are just like, you suck. And it's kind of like, well, yeah, I didn't even really try that hard on these jokes tonight, to be honest. Like, and sometimes I feel like I've needed that, like, slap in the face, like
a wake up?
Like, just like, yeah, I did a little bit tonight. I could do a lot better than that. I was all over the place tonight. I was out of weed, my bad. Which is kind of how it goes. Yeah. But, like, I feel like hecklers are goods and bads, it's not all like. Well, I like really, to hear, like, it can help you out. And comics will heckle you to try to get you to that point, not to fuck you up, just to get you to take that.
Some people that like there's heckling. Heckling is a broad horizon because you could be up there doing something, and I mean I've said things and I've had people say things while I'm on stage that it actually like pumps it up a bit, or adds a little something.
That's what I've tried with Jordan a lot.
And the thing is with hecklers, you got to find out what they like. For Dan, because I haven't had that many. Like if I ever did, I'd be like, okay, dude, what's your name? Or like, where you at? Like that dude in Las Vegas, he had already pissed off people. Yeah, he pissed off Dan, but it was one of those weird occasions where it's like, I know that storm's coming. How am I going to deal with this? Like in the moment, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? And the funny thing is with hecklers is like, you have the microphone. You're able to amplify easily.
That's what's great.
Like they are like, you fucking suck, and it's like, what'd you say? Fucking
can't hear you over myself, dude.
Yeah, sorry, I like the sound of my own voice better. Like
the best is when they're heckling because they're having. It's such a great time, and they're adding to it because of their stupidity, and you're able to just use it. because they're like, "Oh, I just got it!" Like they yell it out, and you're like, "Oh, you just got it? It took you that long? Like, what are you? You're a medic? What? Like that kind? Just being able to like I was rewatching one of my shows the other day for medical professionals at the Funny Farm. I don't know if you were there that week, but we had like 30 people show up who were all there to see this one comic who was a nurse, and it was her first time doing stand up.
I heard about it.
And like they were a great crowd, and then because they were all doctors, like it was just nurses, like I was just able to keep flipping it on. Like you can't be working in a hospital and be doing
have that bad of a reaction time.
Right? I was like, this guy's in that porno class back in a medical school. You know, like it was just kind of.
I was
interesting.
I watched a heckler last night. I was just down at the Funny Farm recording footage for everybody. And this dude was just a drunken asshole, you know, and he's sitting there and he's just making sounds, yelling, and like just trying to make it about him. And dude, when I was doing the interviews upstairs, I was like, let this motherfucker come up. I was like, this isn't even for the Funny Farm. I was like, this is for me. And I'm just gonna fuck with you. Like, I'll mic you up. You're like, yeah, dude, yeah, you know, you'll I'm just gonna give you a nice interview. Not even offer him like no tickets, no deal to come back. And just fuck with him. Like, because he pissed me off. And I was like, dude, let this dude come up here and start some shit. There's certain people, dude. I don't know. It pushes me over edge. That's why I'm like 50-50 with hecklers.
Yeah.
And anger is tough, too, because it's like, you cannot show that on stage because it looks so embarrassing.
Yeah, you gotta be composed and...
You can be like that, but if you're doing it in a humorous way, it can be funny.
You know the list of felonies that could have been on my record.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, people don't know people.
Yeah.
People don't know what they have or what they've done.
You don't know how bad of a life I've had to be to become a stand-up comedian. So shut the fuck up.
That's another thing. Like if you, number one, attempt stand-up, but if you're successful at it, it's like proven that you have some kind of mental disability. In ways, and that you have like trauma and stuff, because there's never been a funny guy or a funny person that's ever come from like, oh, my mom and dad are still together, and we, everything is real set. We love each other. It's great. My dog's still alive. Like all this other stuff. It's usually like,
I murdered my parents.
Yeah, like my dad killed my mother, and my brother used to touch me. But that guy's gonna be funnier than that dude.
Did Dave Chappelle get touched?
Something happened with Dave Chappelle. Have you ever looked into Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle comes from a like. I love
Dave Chappelle in 2024.
Number one, like I love Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, he's a god. But like both of his parents, one is a college professor. I think maybe both of his parents are college professors. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And
it's crazy.
He's like
smart.
The black sheep of his family, because like, I mean, he's very obviously very well written, well versed, great vernacular, great vocabulary, and I think that without knowing too much, I think that his comedy really comes from just smoking weed. Maybe like
weed on stage, dude. That shit trips me out.
I've had like when I started doing stand up, I used to drink a lot just for stage fright. Just stage fright. Yeah, and
beer stuff.
I remember that.
It was a good time.
Like now, I'm cool. Like I like to go to open mics. At least I'll just drink a water or cranberry juice or something like that.
I'll have a drink after.
But I had people before, they were like, why don't you just smoke before you go up? And I'm like, fuck. If I did that, I would be incapable of anything. Like if I managed to get to the stage, I would just be like,
it's the only way I could go.
See, it gives me
you guys seen these lights
You
here?
and Jordan are on that wavelength, and you guys are like that. It's just different people.
Right. With me, like it's like I get super bad anxiety if I don't smoke before I go up. If I do, like I've done so many shows where I'm sober and it's like my timing's off and I can't chill with my I can't just calm down.
In there.
I can't calm down. Even like if I've been on like if I go on a tolerance break, it's like I can't do stand up because it's just bomb after bomb after bomb, because the feeling I have with the crowd is all off. Everything's kind of feels off. And even when I first started stand up, I would be really fast and kind of too quick, wouldn't wait. And once I started smoking, all of a sudden I knew how to just be chill and waiting and being okay with them finishing their laugh or being okay with them dealing with me saying nothing. You know,
With silence.
I mean, to have a little bit of lubricant, I like. I mean, like
lubricant.
What? I'm sorry. What was that phrase?
to have a little bit of lubricant.
I thought you
Social
said
lubricant. Social.
Like no, like like I think I'll have like 3 to 4 beers before I go up, like for events and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it used to be anytime I had to go on stage, I would be drinking, but like
How many bottles of lube did you use before you went on stage?
like an eighth of a ditty.
I'm talking KY.
An
Is this
eighth? Holy
spicy?
shit. Well, an eighth of Diddy, you know how much that's...
That is not baby oil.
That's still at least a kilo.
But
Okay.
yeah, I just feel better. I feel more relaxed if I've had a few beers.
Dude.
It used to be just based off of stage fright, but like now it just helps things flow better. I think personally.
It fucks me up. I think I get in my head when I drink or smoke because like I've
Right.
only bombed the worst when I drank too much or I just smoked one on stage. I smoked at a Huff Shell. 10 minutes, right?
Marco Torres.
Yeah, Marco Torres. All right. So it was when I first started comedy. It was probably my fourth show. It was my fourth show. Doing stand-up. And Marco came up and he's like, yo, we're all going outside to smoke. Like, you want to come with? And I was like, nah, I'm cool. And then everyone left. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not fitting in. And I was like, then let's smoke. So I went outside and I was like, I'll just take a hit. And he's like, all right, don't hit it like a bitch. And he has a pen. And I thought it was going to be like a joint. He's got a pen with a bong attachment to it.
What?
And
That exists?
you have a carb on the end.
Dude, it
And
looks like
you
a
hold
fucking
it,
dildo.
and it does. It looks fucking ridiculous. And you rip a bong rip of a dab pen. And he's like, don't hit it like a bitch either. And I'm like,
I want these guys to like me.
I this was before the show started. I was like 5th or 6th. And I still was like, fuck. Like, I grabbed the mic and my hand was like this. So I just held my hand at my chest so you wouldn't see it so much as I'm moving. 10 minutes. There's like 3 people in the room. There wasn't much audience. 10 minutes of silence. Of not me, just saying. I'm saying all my jokes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
They didn't
Nothing.
hit right.
What did I say? It was something about Warren being like the West Virginia Youngstown. I was like, even the black people are calling other black people out here white trash or some shit. Horrible. It was so bad. I think my first joke, it was my 4th show. I bombed. I said something that people didn't like. And then I noticed, I was like, oh, I crossed a line here. And I'm high, and I just kept crossing them.
Right.
And I was like, well, this is bad. Like, this is terrible. Then I did a one in Youngstown at Monk's up in Struthers. Fucking my boss came by, bought me shot after shot after shot, and like I wasn't even trying to drink, but he's like, "Come on, man, fucking drink!" And next thing you know, I'm up there, don't remember shit, and I'm like a deer in headlights, and I'm just saying things, nothing. It was so bad.
Dude, when I first like,
Well, you live and you learn.
About that show.
About what?
Month.
Which one? About me trying to get booked there again? And then he was like,
No, didn't you? Wasn't that like the only show that like literally brought you?
to tears?
Yeah. That's a
Fucking
weird
cried, dude.
you cried.
Because I was drunk as shit. It was so sad, dude.
Just went in the bathroom.
I called my sister and I'm in the bathroom and because I went in and I went to punch a wall and it's all brick
No.
and I've already broken my hands before.
Yeah.
So it's like I gotta stop punching shit and I'm drunk and I'm like, because like I just killed it in front of a crowd. Like it was my best show ever. I got like a standing ovation. I was like, I didn't even know that these people were sober enough to stand. Like
Yeah.
this is fucking crazy. It's at Eastside Civics. You know what it's like now, dude. To get a good ass showing.
Yeah.
Next weekend, he's like, there's an old lady in the crowd. She started like rubbing my thigh.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
John comes up. He's like, yo, you guys should come out to our next show next week to the audience. And this chick's like, oh yeah, I'll go if he's there. She's like 50, and she grabs my thigh. I was like, that mean I'm booked? That mean I'm booked, huh? And he's like, you guys would come out. Killed it. Same crowd. Same people. Boom. So bad. So when the hype is up, and I'm like, yeah, they're here to see me. And then they're just like, no.
It's definitely a flow, dude. I've had the same thing, just with different jokes. Like most recently is my Black Santa joke. Like where like we went to the Cedars. I'm not sure if you were there that night. No, you weren't. It was me, you, Jordan, Dave Ruggiero, and Ed Crepage. And because there was only 5 of us there, Anthony was like, "We're gonna do 10 minutes of heckler mic, and then you could actually do your set."
After.
And Jordan went up. It was either Jordan or Dave went up, and they said something about Black Santa. And that's why.
Me.
Yeah, you did.
I said something because I was doing my transgender Santa.
Okay.
And I led up to it with, I was like, Black Santa, not happening. But then you added to it. You're like, yeah, I'll let you say it.
No. Like, well, my joke is like, most people. There's a lot of debate about what color Santa Claus is. Is he white or is he black? Personally, I go with white Santa Claus because I celebrate Christmas on December 25th, not January 2nd. Black Santa runs a little late.
Yeah.
And that was just off the cuff. I really enjoy that about going to comedy nights. And I don't like to go first, not because I have jitters or anything, but I like to see what everybody else says so I can come up with just maybe 2 or 3 minutes of starter before I go into my stuff. And went well with you guys. Mm-hmm. It went well at another place. I did that at Charlie Staples, and my dad recorded it. I was doing fairly well. I did that joke. Just fucking crickets.
There's a whole black crowd.
Yeah, just fucking crickets.
And weird.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Fuck, is it a bad joke?" I think it's a good joke.
It's your crowd.
And fucking so then we went to Funny Farm, and I did it there, and it fucking went well there.
White people love
it. It's the fact that the joke wasn't. You didn't go far enough with it, I think.
Don't. If it
ass.
landed wrong, don't lean it.
Maybe
Andrew is known for leaning in harder when they're like, no. And Andrew's like,
sometimes
yes.
And sometimes you need a guard when you leave.
I'm telling you, Social 22 was an all-black room, and after I did that set, I called my mom and said, I can retire. I'm good, because I killed it that night. And I've had a lot of rooms like that. And I think it's because I'm not afraid to double down. Because they want you, everyone wants you to double down, but they want you to do it in a way where you're kind of forcing their hand with it, where they can't really argue. So, the idea of finding a joke that's, the idea that black people are late is an easy concept to come up with. And it's a good joke. Black Santa's joke, I'm not taking a shit on that at all. But I'm just saying, it's an easier...
sounds like you are.
It's an easier joke to come up with, but it needs, a part 2. Smack them in the face.
There is a part 2. It's like it doesn't matter... Because for me personally, it doesn't matter what color Santa Claus is. Black, white, pink, or purple. Those Santa Clauses, they all look the same to me.
That's the light double down.
See, that was a good double down in a way, but how can you lightheartedly bring that into it? That's what you have to find is your words. What word can you flip it around to bring that joke to where it's understandable demographic wise when you shift like that. Because you have to be careful and tread lightly and make sure that what you're saying is still pretty consistent with what is going on in the world. But then, I don't know.
I've had that problem before, as I'm sure we all have, where we think that the audience is going to pick up on cues, and then they fucking don't. So then you have to be like, that was a prostitution joke, and then people are like, oh. Now I don't care. If they figure it out, great. If they don't, I'm not going to spoon feed them.
You remember my racist dog park joke I said at Cedars?
Yeah.
Yeah, you liked it, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Right, all that shit.
Yeah.
Said that at Patina.
Oh, that crowd is not
nothing.
Not for that.
So
the crowds are weird too with
It's
Patina.
weird.
I think I can say this because it's not shitting on the material at all, but more commentary on that. There are 4 or 5 jokes that we've heard Ruggiero do that we love, and they
Yeah.
almost always kill. And they were all 5 jokes, and all 5 he kind of bombed for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
And-
I say it with love because I don't blame him. That wasn't his bomb. I don't know why.
Dude.
No one liked any of them. And I was like, these are good. These have never failed.
He did his time.
It's so weird.
And he didn't do bad. Like, he was comfortable. He was saying his shit.
He was taking it.
But everything he said was just...
He didn't want it.
And I'm dying laughing because, like, when I hear dead silence and I know it's not like you're like, like, I don't feel like laughing at that because I feel bad for you. I know that feeling. Like, you're anxious, there's too much going on. I get disassociated sometimes on stage where I just can't think and it stresses me out. But when you're up there and you're being yourself, everything's going good, and you're just saying shit and nothing's landing and the crowd is silent, I'm fucking crying laughing because I'm like, they don't get how good this actually is.
No, like I'm in the same boat as you. When it goes fucking just crickets, especially for our boys that like we know, like me and him, we did a cancer benefit, and fucking I did it out of just wanting to help out a girl, and it wasn't until like the 3rd comedian went up.
You didn't even get laid.
That I'm like, I was just trying to help her out, but I was like, holy crap! I signed up 7 comedians to do a cancer benefit, and they say within comedy, there's like 3 things that it's hard to make a joke about, and it's like cancer, rape, and like AIDS.
Rape and AIDS sound like they go pretty hand in hand.
Yeah, but like. Yeah, but anyway, like fucking Dave went up there, and he said that he's like, yeah, we're all here because of cancer. How about the losers of cancer?
Okay.
And it just went crickets, and I'm laughing my ass off.
I was like, that's good. This is gonna be.
I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm laughing so loud that they can hear me laughing.
Dude.
And
That's
when
tough.
one of comedians you love bombs with a joke that's like one of your favorites, and you know how funny it is, and you're in the back. Oh my god, that's the funniest moment.
It was great,
bro.
but just the environment and the dead silence, and like the balls to go up there and say that, and I'm just like, I'm fucking loving it. And when he got off the stage, I was like, dude, you had the best joke tonight, like.
And he's like, what the fuck?
It's a crowd that's not used to comedy that's tough too with those shows, I feel like benefits and stuff where everyone's coming out to support you. That crowd is so hard to know like what you have in front of you. It's like you can be like, oh, this bar has this culture to it. But here, dude, y'all are putting yourselves in such a like tense position to be like, I just gotta go and hope for the best.
It was a
Don't
breast
know.
cancer benefit that I signed up 7 dudes to do.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes, folks, and we learn from them.
Yeah,
like,
I went to a poetry night to talk about my balls. Dan went there to sing and do poems. Dan did great.
Stop.
Learn that.
I don't think I've talked about my balls since.
Listen here,
in the light of
listen
day.
here, Anthony. I mean, you got that in your mind and on your heart for the rest of your life that you went up there in a room full of hoity-toity, pinky out, tea-sipping sons of bitches, and you talked about your balls.
That's something manly, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, when everyone is up there at their fanciest, finest hour, you're like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Snapping. And I'm like, so I sat on the toilet and my nuts hit the water. And they're like,
Go on.
like, no.
He's speaking the real shit here.
I feel like it was like the only one that laughed was Devin, and he's like, dude, that happened to me just before the show started.
Well, Devin's awesome. I know one rock in all of our collective shoes is when you get off stage and you forget about one of the jokes you wanted to do, or multiple.
Oh, especially when you're having a good ass set. Oh, it sucks blue balls because I'm like, you would love this one. Like, I've had specific sets where I'm saying jokes and everything was good, but I noticed one. I was like, this one's gonna be fucking great. And I get off stage and like, no,
Yeah.
blue balls in it.
Yeah.
Man.
Isn't that like the biggest kick in the dick
Biggest kick
ever?
in the dick. Biggest kick in the dick.
I left so much on that stage before, bro.
I've left it on the side. Yeah, I left it on the chair.
I left it in the car.
But like, fuck, yeah. No, dude. Yeah, Malcolm Floyd's funny as hell. I got to see him for the first time.
Yeah,
last 2 weeks.
he's different.
Yeah.
A lot of people got their own styles. He's one unique style.
See, like, and we're all funny individuals, but we were funny to other people. Like,
Yeah.
like it's harder. It's a different scope and a different way of looking at things when you're just having a conversation at the table with your buddies to going up on stage to a room full of 50 or so people that don't know you or anything. You can't be like, well, I'm going to tell my story about Greg. The audience doesn't know who the fuck Greg is, or where you work, or any of this shit.
I used to say a lot of serious life shit that just wouldn't hit because they feel bad. Like, they'd feel bad for me. They're like, I'm so sorry that you went through that. I'm like, this was supposed to be a joke. Like, I just stopped talking about some serious shit because, like, to me, I grew up in a different way where I look at something funny and they're just like,
well, I've always been a funnier guy, but majority of my friends or family that come to my shows, they're like, why don't you just tell some of your stories or tell some stories? I'm like, number one, I can't think of any when I'm up there. But like number two, it's like I wrote these jokes. These are the jokes that I came up with. Like, it's weird.
It is. It makes people think that a lot of people can do comedy, and don't get me wrong, there's so many people that can. Yeah. But when you're trying to make like a career out of it or take it to the next step, that's where it separates because that's when real writing comes into play. And I've struggled where I focus too much on my writing and not about my stage presence. Right. And then I'm like, I got this orchestrated joke, like this is gonna be great. And I say it and they're like, cool. Like, you weren't fun to watch. You just said a line where I'm like, that is kind of funny. And then you're like, yeah.
It's
a good balance you gotta find.
Yeah, like one of the things, there's so many different sides of a joke. There's the joke itself. There's how you actually say it on stage. There's your mannerisms, like how can you utilize air and a microphone or a cord or a stand to the best of your ability to formulate that picture into somebody's
head. You know what I'm saying, bro? Innocent.
Why? I don't know.
The way you could use the microphone, the mic stand, like Kennison be throwing the mic stand. I'm telling you, that's what he reminds me of, bro.
I never watched
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer.
He pissed me off. Like, dude, there's some comics that yell so much, and I'm like, yo, nah.
Dude, that was the first time I saw Martin. Martin at West Side, and Malloy.
Oh yeah.
And he literally just shotgunned fucking like 20 or 50 fucking one-liners. He was like,
that's
him.
And
like each one of them were decent, were good, you know?
Yeah. He doesn't do anything but one-liners. So like, dude, don't get me wrong, I love Martin Malloy. You give him any good spot, like 10 minutes, great. Imagine watching that for 25 minutes to 40. Of one-liners.
That'd be like
now it's great, and then you're like, all right, like it changes the vibe. I don't want to say it's a bad approach too. I just think there's more to it. But shit, I ain't got all the pieces figured out.
Who does?
Watching one-liners for a long time is it's so different.
No, yeah, like I struggle with that. Like I've had my brother and that they're like, you can't just go up there and say this. Like I used to do a bunch of those. When I started with open mic night, it'd be like, I
never did one-liners.
If Jesus can turn water into wine, do you think that he could turn a water park into a winery? Or like, if you sing the best in the shower, how come nobody's ever had a concert at a water park? Probably electrocutions.
Yeah. See, like, I just never got one-liners. Like, I could get a punchline, but I always want to tell a story that leads up to it to take you on a ride to hit you with it.
Yeah.
I can never just be like, oh, haha, bam, and just like smack you with a punchline. And I'm like, when I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But when I try to add a spin, that's where I enjoy my jokes. So I've never, like, I enjoy one-liners, but making them myself, that's just not my style.
Like, I have learned to showcase them. Like you just said, like I can't just say a one-liner.
Yeah.
Got to have a lead up and then a lead down. Like it has like my brother. When I send him my jokes, he'll be like, "Well, here's a way in which you could rephrase that or throw it in." Like used to be like one of my one-liners was like I had real bad luck with dating, so I just resorted to standing outside of laundromats waiting for women to get stuck in dryers.
Yeah, I liked that one. That one was good. I like that one a lot. And it's a good example, too. I didn't mean to cut you off, but, like, that joke makes me excited because I love how fucking silly that shit is, and you could just leave it on a pause, and people are like, just fuck with it. I fuck with that one. That's the one liner I like.
I hate when you have a one-liner and you don't add to it. Like you find, because that's how all jokes start for me. It's like I find that one line, and then I'm like, okay, can I attach that here? Oh no, that doesn't fit there. Can I attach that here? And then being like, okay, now this is a crazy topic. What am I not expanding on here that other comics are going to watch this and be like, oh, I could take this and probably expand on it this way. He hasn't thought of that yet. Like,
yeah,
you know, like when they try to.
Don't you love it when you have a joke and then you come up with a new joke that like it links perfectly together?
I've done that.
Where it's like, I've had this joke forever, I just can't utilize it. And then you find like a little bit more to shape it up.
I did that with the females actually do female orgasms actually exist? Because all I wrote at the time was like, female orgasms to me are quite like Bigfoot. Like, I've never seen one in person, but I've seen tons of them online. You know? So I had that line. But I didn't like doing just that joke. And then I worked up to it with my barber cutting my hair like a lesbian, making me look like a lesbian. And I did this whole part about how I can never eat coochie because I can't even eat a balanced breakfast. You know what I mean? But I would just hit like light joke, medium, and then that line. And it just kind of brings you up and snaps, and then it's breakaway for another one. It's almost like editing audio, dude. Fuck. Damn. But yeah, I love when that shit happens. Yeah. It's like a puzzle piece, you know, where I'm like, that's where I think of something funny that I don't know what to do with, and I'll just write that word or sentence down and just wait. And I'll wait. And I've had it happen a good couple of times, but then there's ones that are just still in my notes where I'll go back and I'm like, fuck, I never did anything with this.
When I get like writer's block, those are what I go back to is those ones that I didn't do anything with. Because then it's like, okay, how could I build a situation around this?
I think one of my weaknesses as a comic is I keep writing, and I never stop. Like,
how's that weakness?
Because I never stop to go back at my writing. Like, I never try to bump up my jokes like I used to. I used to write a bunch of jokes, try to make them better, and make them better, and make them better, and make them into almost segments where I'm like, all right, now this isn't as funny as it was. It's even better, and I got this that goes attached with this, and I make it neat. And now I'm just like, fuck, I get so tired of rewriting my jokes or saying some jokes the same that I just keep writing. So I get all these jokes that are decent, but have the potential to be even better that I never punch up on because I hate going back on them. I just like looking at new things. And I try to make every joke better than the last one, but it's still new, and there's always another avenue you can take it to make it even better. And that's something I just don't touch on that I really should.
See, I have notes and notes and notes in my phone of varying things, comedy, poetry, just ideas Dan's have. But I used to, when I started off, I'd have joke number 1, joke number 2, and I'd have them written so that when I wanted to make a set list for something, I would just copy and paste it. And it's been a year and a half, and now if you were to look at my joke memo, it's a catastrophe. Like there's some that are just 3 words that I know what they mean, but if any other sensible human were to open up there and be like, penguin mustache prostitute.
Dude, exactly.
Like, what the fuck's this mean? It's the scrawlings of a madman.
My notes look like a bookshelf where no one put books back right. They're just shoved in there and just like fucked up. They're not in order, nothing. I've got 120 some pages in my phone notes of just even one-liners to full joke scripts to everything. And I half of these aren't even written on paper. When I get one of my jokes I like for certain, I write it down on paper because it helps me memorize it. Like for almost like a stamp. Like when I actually physically have to write out everything. It puts in my memory where I can keep going. If I type it out, it's like, mindless. But when I write that shit, I'm like, now it's stamped in my memory. When I go to this, I'm going to know what to hit. Dude, I got so much in that fucking thing that never made it to paper.
Yeah.
I look back at some of my ideas, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Don't you hate it when you have something fucking hilarious? Oh, that's good, and then you forget to write it down, and then like, could be 5 minutes later, you're like, I had something, it was so funny, what the hell was it?
Right.
And you can't pull it back out of the ether. It's like, it had something to do with a cornfield, god damn it, like,
I be putting the wrong words in. Like, I got big ass thumbs, so I always be putting the wrong words in, and that's like, what the hell did I write for the thumbs? What? Like, it's like, what?
Me and my sister used to joke around where we would just be talking in the car laughing. And, like, I would go to start typing, and she's like, you should just keep one of those fucking things with you where you just start, like, the clicker on it. And I'm like, Asians on acid joke. And just, like, put it back in my pocket, and we just keep talking.
No, there was an 80s movie, or maybe it was a 90s movie. It was like, guy has the same thing doing things, and then like at the end of the movie, he like looks at like the battery thing. There's no batteries, and he's like, and he clicks it again. He's like, note to self: buy batteries.
That's good. Oh, man.
But I think we're at about
We're getting there. Yeah, we're about an hour and a half almost.
what what are some new things coming up for Anthony?
Yeah.
What's
your vision?
What would you want to do in 2025?
Right. It's the end of the year, bro. What do you think you need? What do you think you need? What do you think you did do the best in 2024 that you want to do?
How do you want to be better?
2025.
I'm going to get better by not trying to expand myself, because I think a lot of people, and hear me out on this, a lot of people do a race to try to be like the funniest or try to get on the biggest shows or become someone of themselves, and do more for the community. So with that starting, I got a good opportunity with Chloe Jackson, the one that runs the West Side Bowl Open Mic.
Yeah. Shout out Chloe.
She gave me an idea to run with for a pop-up comedy brand that we're going to start building called Yo, That's Funny.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a couple venues marked up. We're just getting the shows, the dates, everything started. And I'm learning a lot more. Instead of just doing all writing, just me performing, it's more of booking. It's getting venues on the line. It's video editing. It's building social media. It's everything behind the scenes and trying to actually start a business out of it and do something that we could bring more laughs to Youngstown back, Because, to be honest with you guys, like, the best shows I've probably been on have been out of town. They're in Ohio. But
shut your whore mouth.
Some of them...
You know where you came from?
Either way, I gotta say, some of my funnest ones are the ones I've created, too. Like, the Wickyards is always a fucking great one for me. I love it so much. We've created a spot where it seems like everybody enjoys themselves, and that's what I fucking love about it. But we're trying to create more of that and make it a spot to where most comics will be like, oh, we're going out to Cleveland. We need to go out to Cleveland. We got to hit these mics, get noticed. We got to do this. I want it to become almost reversed, where people from Cleveland and Pittsburgh will be like, bro, we got to go to Youngstown. We got to get to Youngstown, man, because we got to get recognized so we can get on this. Like, that's how I want our town to be. So, no matter what that takes, through getting better writing, joke material, getting more open spaces, whatever I got to do, that's how I'm going to make 2025 better. And that's what I've probably missed out on doing so much, because it was more about me. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Now it's going to be about us. That's what I'm looking forward to, man. So, I think it really kicks off in January. I'm going to have my birthday show. Come on, kick it, dude. I'm going to have Jamaican food out there. Like, this chick's selling Jamaican plates. We're going to, and if she sells a good amount and she's happy with it, she'll come back for every other
So you have like a food truck there then?
Not even a food truck, just old catering style. Like, there's just going to be a table, trays. Cool. She makes some plates, big plates too.
Cool.
$12. She'll have Jamaican drinks, like authentic juices she's made. Shit like that.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
As our participant in Anthony and Jordan's shows at the Wickyards, they are always awesome. There's just something about just the atmosphere of a venue where everybody is there to laugh and have a good time. They are at the they've come to a comedy show and they've got the memo that this is humor, this is supposed to be funny, you're supposed to have a good time. That doesn't happen everywhere, but every time that I've been to the Wick Yards, you could basically go on stage, smile, and give them a good wink, and people are like, "Oh yeah, we're having a good time." So yeah, Anthony, you're doing amazing with that. You're going to keep on doing.
It's a funeral home.
Yeah,
too.
and it's a funeral home.
Dude, fucking what a spot to have that shit.
Fuck, even the ghosts are laughing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have all these. That's why we have all these empty seats. It's just spirits.
Actually, I think. The last time that I went there, like they were trying to find more chairs.
Yeah, it was like 47 tickets we sold.
We had a decent amount of people
Dude,
there.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I want to crack over 50 for January 11th.
Oh, yeah?
It's tough, you know. It's tough. So like, I really want to sell out just over 50 because we were that close, and I had like a whole group of people that were like, "Oh fuck, we can't make it." And, like they were gonna show up, and I'm like, "Start with a minute," just because 50 is a good mark, and I know that me talking about this now is gonna be crazy in a year from now when I actually have a pop-up brand started, and we're gonna be able to see spots where it's like, remember when we wanted just 50? You know, like now we're fucking pushing, and now we're getting fucking whatever we can. I don't want to. Look.
Yeah, mark your calendars, man. I tell everybody that. I'm like,
Let me look. This is what is it?
Calendars.
When I started comedy, I believed in myself a little too much. I started comedy. I read a book about comedy, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a reminder in the calendar, an alarm to go off. It was an alarm for 1 year, and it was this big congratulations message on me being on tour and making enough money to not have like a day job. All these dreams from a young starter, and I was like, boy, was I fucking wrong, dude. Like,
how is Bill Burr? What is Dave Chappelle like? Have you met the president yet? Like,
so like, I was like, oh, I'm so glad to hear all this cool stuff you've been doing. I'm glad you're on tour, man. On the same day, I'm performing in a basement. Like, I was
you're
like,
performing?
fuck it, dude. I'm still here, and it's funny as fuck to me, bro. I was like, you're gonna be on tour and all this shit, but it goes to show you never know where you're going.
Oh yeah.
And I think I shot a little too far with that one.
oh yeah.
But I never want to undershoot, so I'll always ask for more.
You always aim to the middle, and you'll never miss. I mean, I think that's the big thing. A lot of people, they have a big picture in their head. When you're going to get further, making a few little dots, a few little steps every day than if you wanted to go out and take down the world tomorrow.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're still plugging away. That's all you can ever do with any aspect of your life is to keep on chugging along, and try and make your dreams come true in whatever way they are, whether it's comedy or acting or.
So, what's 2025 looking for you guys then? What's your biggest news? This is where I interview you guys. All right, what is Dan gonna do for 2025?
What's Dan gonna do? 2025,
Staying alive.
You know, the typical things. I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna get a good eating schedule and sleeping schedule.
We're gonna be calling.
Are we gonna see?
Dan by
Are
the
we
end of
gonna
the
see
summer.
like shake weight Dan?
Oh my god!
Are we gonna see weight?
If you want to see Shake Weight Dan, you can come see him at his house any
on
night.
OnlyFans.
But on Only Dan's.
On OnlyFans.
But for Dan personally, this year I'm looking to do a whole bunch of fun stuff. Just tonight, me and Andrew were talking with a woman that owns an art gallery. We're going to be starting our own open mic nights and then also showcasing people, which is going to be fun. It's a wonderful place. It's called Studio South Art Exchange. Go there for your art needs or decor. There's a whole bunch of different furniture. But for Dan, I want to get more venues. Just like, again, I've told you and Jordan this before. You guys rose the bar. You started your own shows and everything. And it made Dan be like, well, fuck, if they're doing it, I need to do it.
Exactly.
So, like, I am doing my own stuff with that. I'm also making music with my band, Remnants of a Rendezvous, on all platforms. We're putting out a song every month. We've got 2 out so far. Third one's going to be out within the next week. And the goal for this year with that is to compile 12 and then actually remaster them and put them into an album and then we're gonna have a show. And
That's gonna be our end of 2025 right there. It's a whole fucking remastered album.
yeah, and
Dude.
we're gonna be playing that. I'm also working on a comic book. And
you never know. You never know what angle you're gonna take, especially with you. You shoot at everything. Like you're just like, fuck it. Like I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try that out.
I like to have fun.
It is inspiring in a way, dude. Because like you don't just be like, this is it. You know, like you are one that I don't think you even care about just being successful in one area. Like you. I don't even think success is really.
No, I just want to do stuff that makes me happy.
Exactly. So you're willing to try anything, whether it be fucking one end to the opposite end, and as long as you're happy with it, you keep running. So I mean, like hearing about comic books and hearing about booking venues, doing comedy, being in a band, it's all different areas of artistic work that you really put yourself into, and that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind.
I'm looking forward. 2025 is going to be fun.
Can't teach.
We're all going to be doing fun things. Hell,
You're ambitious as hell.
We'll put a timer on. We'll do another follow-up podcast next year.
Quit our day job.
How wrong were we?
Yeah, Dan is dead.
I was gonna say Andrew Lucas.
Andrew
First person to do it.
It's us at one of our funerals, and we're like, yes, like doing a podcast as they're going under.
I feel like Marco Torres is gonna die one day, but then still be going live with What the Fuck Wednesdays from Hell. Like he's gonna be like, "What's up, y'all?"
That's fucking killer.
Like,
just to have like a bunch of them in the back burner. To
say you try to hit this shit. Like,
it would just be like that would be our first like proof of an afterlife, and it's just Marco Torres and how he's like, "What the fuck going on, y'all?" Acorn stopping on police cars.
I feel like Marco Torres is someone who could pull off the brick scene when he walks out at his funeral, and everyone would be like, "Oh, I guess that's Marco." Yeah.
He's like, we all bury him, and it was all just a thing to get out of like financial debt.
Right.
Like we're all sitting there crying. We're like, man, remember when he did this? And someone turns around, it's just him running like out of the car.
Yeah, it's like from fucking Talladega Nights. It's like he died. It's like, no, I can see him right there. He's right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's peeking around the corner.
Andrew, what are your plans for 2025?
2025. It's next week.
Yep.
Shit.
I'm kicking off the year with hosting the Funny Farm open mic on the 8th of January, and then I'm hoping to do another Youngstown comedy kickoff again this year in the upcoming future. Me and Dan are doing that first Tuesday show. It's going to be on February 2nd at
South Art Exchange. South Art Exchange in South Avenue in Boardman, Ohio. Bring your comedy, bring your poetry, bring your music, bring your magic. If you've got a manifesto you've been working on in your basement and you want 5 to 6 minutes to tell people about it, come on down.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go up to your open mic, and I know there's gonna be a lot of comedians. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna do poetry.
Hell yeah!
Fucking 180 from that one
Yeah.
year. I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna have all my poems.
Yeah, dude, you had a good poem.
I have one. That's it.
Yeah, do that one.
Right.
I mean, obviously do that one. Don't do another. No, dude. I like art in general. So
it's really for all creatives. Like we want to get a creative community established with.
He wrote a poem about his balls
within Youngstown, with more places for them to gather, because there's not many places for us to gather as creatives together. And like even when we were just getting like shout out to what's her Dash
Vosh Pen.
It's like Prancer.
She took our headshots today for free, and she's amazing for doing that.
Yeah,
but like
Vosh.
Seeing what she is doing, like it really shows what we can be doing, you know. And that's
make a better community.
Yeah. So I'm looking at doing that, and then I got another podcast that I guess there's a YouTube series I'm getting ready to roll out with my buddy from work in the next couple weeks. Just talking shit. I think we're going to talk about rap. I think that's what we're going to end up talking about. But Well, who knows? We'll see what happens.
So everyone's starting off with something new. Grace.
Try.
Yeah, Grace.
Grace.
What's yours?
You've been quiet a lot because we're talking about like comedy and you're the only one
and
that's
I'm
like...
chasing the dogs
You know, Grace-
down. Tore open a couch cushion, by the way.
Grace has an acting credit though. Grace was in
Grace
the
doesn't
movie.
have
I-
and she was on stage for her first time.
Hell yeah.
Didn't do a set. But
No,
she did
Chloe's
a
fucked
minute.
up.
She did a hot minute.
Fuck yeah.
You did a lot better than most.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, gonna graduate college.
Yeah.
Graduate college next year.
We're gonna
Might
get our own
publish
house.
a paper on human trafficking. Actually,
Oh, hell
legitimately
yeah.
can't
Yo.
talk about it because it's an active investigation. Kind of
Nice.
crazy
What
shit.
are you going to school for?
But
What's his name?
anthropology.
What's his name? Jeffrey
Completely-
Epstein. I'm just gonna
I thought we were gonna say a different
He's
name,
alive.
No.
Anthropology, very unrelated. But
How did you get into writing a paper about human trafficking?
I don't know.
I think I can comfortably probably share this much here, but I've taken classes on human trafficking, and I saw signs of it in the work I do, and now I've compiled a bunch of information on it,
Yeah?
and I'm trying to
Like,
get it handled, but it's like, it sounds so dumb and like low-key, but I genuinely don't want to do anything to jeopardize it for the, like,
okay.
you know what I mean? For like what
Well, then
what
you
it
know what? We'll
legitimately
put a
is.
pin in that, and next year when
We'll bring the
we're like, yeah,
It's like,
Dan
what
died in
happened?
February. But Grace is now a doctor, and she's been given the key to the city for
Yeah.
her stuff.
We were friends in middle school through
I
high
wrote
school.
a 20-page paper on our local drug culture, and
I
most of
was-
it was based off asking Anthony his like
Yeah.
life story and going to the places
I
where
just
he
got
stood,
cleaned up, so we went out to the Mocha House.
which is supposed to be anonymous, but whatever, it's not published.
Whoops.
Not like it matters.
So you got published stuff?
No, this is the only thing that I was like, I didn't even want to write about it. I just wanted to do the right thing, if that makes sense, you know. But my professors are kind of pushing it. They're like, you need a senior thesis, and this would be really important. You should write about it, and if you do, we'll help you publish it. And I was like, I don't know what any of that means. I agree with Youngstown out, but sure, I'll do that, I guess, as long as all the important things are taken care of. So
Yeah.
that's a weird thing that maybe a year from now I will tell you all the actual stuff about.
All right. Next year, you're going to show me your published paper, and I'm also working on a kid's book. And if I publish it next year, we'll trade.
Yeah, we'll trade.
Yeah.
We'll make a collab of the two.
Yeah, oh God. My book is about like dinosaurs and a chihuahua,
Well,
but intermixed with
I think I can
just
see
getting
the vision.
traffic.
like coyotes. like,
Bring in cousins.
but no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, what else for you, Grace? So you're graduating. What else has Grace got going on?
Oh gosh.
My wife one day.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll do all that.
Yeah.
But
I just can't.
Um.
Yeah, if you want to, like, we started GoFundMe for us to like get engaged. That'd be
in
pretty
this
nice.
economy,
Yeah, in this
we'll get
economy.
around.
Have you ever
Yeah, we'll get around
seen
to it.
Yeah.
how much a ring costs, bro?
Yeah, I have.
I was watching
and I
Jersey Shore
shit
last night.
myself.
I'm good.
I shit myself.
My buddy actually just bought
You know
a
the
ring.
best thing about her though, with that, she hates diamonds.
Hell
You
yeah.
need all the nice shit.
Fucking
You could
Ace.
easily get me probably like a $40 ring, and I would like it more if it was like
Oh,
shaped
yeah.
like a branch or like had the shape
Yeah,
of a
it's gotta be
ball. I'd
whimsy.
like,
I shouldn't be sharing this with you, Anthony, because Grace is here. But my plan, as far as matrimony, if I meet a chick, I'm going to get them a fake ring. Okay? Fake ring, real nice fake ring. And then for like the 5th wedding anniversary, I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to go get our rings cleaned, as a gift. Then I'll get her a real ring then.
That's smart. That's smart. It's definitely.
I'm just kidding.
You ever heard of a
Did you put it in
prenup?
this
Are you
situation?
smart? Are you?
You ever heard of a prenup?
You know what's going to happen now.
Well, don't tell her what
anything
a
you
prenup is.
anything you give her, she's going to get that little wand that you see on YouTube where it's like, yo, that ice is fake, bro. It's fake
You put
ice.
this out of a fucking quarter machine? I'm like,
Quarter's a lot of money these days.
Now, the thing is she's not even going to be mad at Anthony. She's going to be showing up at my house being like, you
Yeah.
motherfucker.
no.
Is this what you told him to get me? Really?
What's wrong with it?
I was like, it was either that or a pack of Pokemon cards.
It's that SpongeBob ring. It's like,
that's
friends for us.
Oh yeah, I think you could buy that for like $30.
That'd be pretty
I know you can. I almost did.
I actually saw. Yeah, I saw it.
You know, all right. I don't know how much time we got. Either way,
We're trying.
got all the time in the
it's almost Christmas. You know how many gifts she's caught beforehand where I was just like, just fucking have it. Like it wasn't something she found. It was just like, damn, this would be really nice right now. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know? I'm like, how the fuck do you know? It was first like we went out to an oddity shop and
For my birthday.
for her birthday, and I got her something, and she knew immediately what I got her. I had her sit down somewhere, went somewhere, found something, and she's like, "Is it the butterfly wing necklace?" And I was like, "No." And I'm like, "Fuck." I was like, "Well, now she can't have it for her birthday. I'm gonna keep that shit till Christmas, and I'm gonna do it properly. Save me a Christmas gift." Pressured me forever. After her birthday, and she didn't get it.
Look
She's
really
like,
nice with this outfit.
yeah, she's like, but after that, she never forgot that I bought it. And like, even if she was wrong, it would have been so much better too. If she was wrong, and I just kept being like, "You're not getting it. You're not getting it." It'd be something else. But she knew, and I was just like, just fucking. And just at Thanksgiving, like we went out, we were looking at stuff. It was supposed to be gifts for other people.
Yeah.
Going to American Eagle, she's looking at clothes, finds a skirt. And it was like, there's one size that was like the perfect size for her left. And she was about to buy it, she didn't. Something like that. After work, I'm covered in shit. I work in construction. Covered in mud. It was raining. All this dirt.
American Eagle.
Yeah, I go out like covered in paint and mud, and I'm like, I walk into American Eagle, dirty as fuck, buying just a skirt by myself. And I get out, and it's like Thanksgiving, and she's almost in tears, where she's just like, "Fucking, this skirt doesn't match this outfit. I really wish I would have bought that fucking skirt." And I'm like, just fucking have it. Dude, too many gifts where I was like, it's not buying shit. Like, I was like, I gotta be unpredictable.
For real.
Well,
Yeah.
you're a great guy, Anthony. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you actually have the power to know what she wants. You are
You just put her on a child
predetermining.
leash and TJ Maxx, and then I'm like just writing notes down what she grabbed.
Once again, I promise I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've been up for
Excuse me, people.
Oh yeah.
a good too much time. 40 hours. We're good. We're on hour 40. We're
And
there.
you're not even on meth. That's crazy.
I'm not,
I
dude.
could never do that without some meth.
And I still gotta work another 10 hours today. So it's gonna be interesting.
So we're
That's when the shadow people
we
come
have
out.
two options here. We wrap the podcast.
Oh, no,
and
I
we
mean,
get
it don't
Andrew Lucas meth. Which one can
Ooh.
we do?
We can do both.
Yeah, we can
All
do
right.
that.
We both
I didn't know
we're
that.
instructors, aren't we?
All
I
right.
used to
Yeah.
buy my meth from behind the police station.
Does anybody else want to say anything before we end this inaugural podcast?
Inaugural. We gotta. This is just. Who knows what this is? This is going up though.
I would like to clarify that my balls do not touch the toilet water.
I
And my
do.
sex tape?
I do actually pinch my nuts. That was not a lie. In fact,
Well,
there's
that
very
happens.
little about what Dan said today that was untruthful.
Okay, that happened one time. One time, I was low hanging one night.
Raise your hand to a woman if you've hit a woman.
See, they can't see. Oh shit! I was about to say they can't see it because this is an audio format, but there's two cameras here. So.
The woman sitting across.
We forgot there was a left camera.
So that is. I guess we'll see you in a year.
All right. Well-
Be here, dude.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna.
GG dog. Deuces.
Bye bye. Have an awesome time. Best of luck in 2025. Kisses.